So this video is going to be all about the things that you have not read in my resume, because what is the point of going through my resume first without understanding the background of my previous work? So I started being kind of professionally involved in gaming since 2004. And 2004 has been basically the hallmark year for MMO gaming and overall community building, I think, in Serbia, where I'm from. And it marked the release of World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft has been one of those games that we all played from the beginning in Serbia with all my friends, and one of our first MMOs that we were exposed to. It was the time when we used Wi-Fi networks and for the first time had unlimited bandwidth instead of using dial-up. So we thought, instead of just playing the game and enjoying it and quote unquote wasting our time, we really wanted to kind of build community around it. And so me and my friend had this idea of creating a World of Warcraft Serbian fan site. And World of Warcraft Serbian fan site was not a thing before, and fan sites were not really a thing before on a larger scale. So we decided to create a website with forums and to invite as many friends that we can as a start. So we did it. I was the forum administrator, and I was also writing news and blog posts about World of Warcraft in Serbian for that community. And so, over the course of a few years, we got recognized by Blizzard, and we got recognized as the official fan site for the game, for the region. So quickly after that, we decided to expand to StarCraft Serbia, Diablo Serbia, and then later on into Blizzard Serbia as well, which was kind of encompassing all the games and sort of like expanding our view on the Blizzard's kind of like effort to create great games. And so we were the official fan site for the region. We were kind of officially recognized by Blizzard. We had conversations with them. We had beta tests. We had alpha keys being distributed and all of that. But I was never satisfied with only community management in Serbia and in Serbian language, because it was kind of a niche audience, so to speak. It still is. And so in the meantime, I was also playing EVE Online. And EVE Online has been this really fascinating game that I always wanted to master, and I never really kind of managed to do so, because it took just too much time to master and understand it and get into it. So I asked a friend of mine that was heavily involved in the game to show me the ropes. And that was around 2006, 2007. So in the meantime, I learned EVE Online and continued blogging about Warcraft, and we grew up to over, I think, around 2,000 or 3,000 users. And that was really exciting to see the community grow. People from Croatia, from Bosnia, from even Bulgaria came to our websites. Basically, anybody could roughly read Serbian language. And in the meantime, I was learning EVE Online and playing it. I got involved into the community there. And I kind of always have been an FPS player myself. I played Quake 3, Counter-Strike, and all of the esports titles that were at that time popular. And I've heard of the game called Dust 514. And that got me really excited, because it was a first-person shooter by CCP Games. And set in EVE Online universe, which was like extremely sort of artistic and heavily stylized kind of game that had this kind of appeal of a hardcore universe where you could be a mercenary and you could fight and control planets and all of that. And so I decided, with all of my skills that I learned since 2004 and in my university, which I never finished, to exploit my web design skills and prowess to create a fan site for Dust 514, and none of them existed before that. That was around 2010. The game has been only announced in 2009, and nobody really knew anything about it. And so I created a fan site for the game that basically nobody knew about. But it was in English, and that was a big advantage because I could target the whole world instead of just Serbian language speaking countries. And I started doing it on my own. I designed it all from scratch on the Blogger platform from Google. And I started just writing about it. I started theoretizing, analyzing, slicing the information, digesting it, and all of that stuff. And people noticed it organically. I never paid for anything. I even didn't monetize the website whatsoever. I wrote about the game. I was getting people really excited about the game, and at that time, the community of MAG, was slowly kind of being dispersed around the world because the game has been shut down. And so the MAG community was kind of like looking for another game to play. And this, since Dust was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive game, it made sense for them to look for that. And so MAG community kind of really swarmed my fan site, and they recognized me as a kind of a fan site guy. That was really exciting because I kind of built that community from nothing, and EVE Online community later on noticed me, and then just the rest of the world. And so in 2010, 2011, I was basically blogging about Dust 514, and then I started doing a podcast as well called Cast 514, which was original name. And so I started podcasting. I started reaching out to CCP Games themselves in Shanghai office, which were the developers of the game. And I even had the community manager at that time as one of our first guests on the podcast. And so we really started expanding. We started talking more with 2CCP Games. We kind of like were almost an official fan site for the game, even though obviously they did not have official fan site program. And I was really excited to get people just more information about the game and to get them excited about the possibilities of an EVE Online shooter vision. And so basically 2011, late 2011, I expanded my fan site to a point where we had over 20,000 daily views on a website, because we were the first to release the news. We were the first to analyze everything that the footage that was coming out, and writing original blog posts and community pieces, and that was really exciting. And then suddenly on my Twitter, my DMs lit up, and I received a message from CCP Games Shanghai community manager asking me if I would be interested to join the team. And so that is where my professional career begins. 2012, early 2012, with a DM in Twitter. So that's kind of a short version of a timeline that I had before I professionally started working in games industry. So I was always extremely passionate about the games that had extremely strong sort of identity to them, and I had like a very exciting sort of professional looking defined strategy around what is it going to be. And so I always was attracted to that style and to that kind of like just attitude of a developer and the long-term thinking about games, which was obviously EVE Online and World of Warcraft that are still alive to this day. So yeah, this is basically the short version of everything that I wanted to say. And you can come back to this video and take a look at it if you want some more details about like my history behind the whole professional work of the things to come. And so the next video is going to be basically me diving deep into the professional career and the things that I've done so far in CCP Games and Tencent. So look for the next video about that.